Working? Oh, there I am. Cool. Okay, so maybe posting a few of these videos could help people out. I mean, that's my whole goal of the channel, is to help people out. Okay, so a lot of topics to choose from. This one's gonna be about the whole, how did you know? And that's always a thing with the LGBT community, is how did you know, or when did you find out? For several people, that's a very hard question, and it can take people years to actually figure it out, rather than knowing like that. I can speak in several areas that everybody can relate to. Oh, oh, sorry. Where do I start with that? Sexuality and gender identity is very different. With your sexual orientation, it's a lot easier to actually figure out exactly what you are, because it's what you're attracted to. A lot of people have a way easier time discovering that than their actual identity, and an identity is you. Some people don't know themselves as well as others know themselves, if that makes sense. For me, I've known for a very long time, and it got more and more obvious as I got older, but I didn't know what it was. It's like very hard to explain. There were signs growing up, and I didn't realize the signs until, I decided to go for, I came out of the closet, and then you start thinking way back into the past, and there's so many signs. I didn't want to dress in girl clothes. I always got the boy toys and the Happy Meals rather than the girl toys. I was always out playing with the guys. I had no interest in playing dress up or any of that stuff. But it varies person to person. So, some people may have had that experience, other people may have figured it out younger, and other people may not have figured it out till they're several decades into their life. So, got older, and then I just had the whole theory, and I joke about it a lot, and I'd always say, I'm the exact same as a guy. I'm just missing a dick. And I was always the go-to for guy advice, so I felt like a guy throughout puberty. I did. I really did. And I forgot I was legitimately female. It wasn't until I used the bathroom or changed clothes and I legitimately saw myself that it's like, oh yeah, I'm really a girl. So I knew, and I just kind of settled with that fact and put it, didn't talk to anybody about it. I just dealt with it. Then, May 2013, I had a very bad seizure, and, if my mom hadn't have found me, I probably wouldn't be here right now. It was a, non-stop seizure. I couldn't stop it, and I ended up, having to be intubated because my lungs stopped working. And, when you come into situations like that, where, with near-death experiences, your entire perspective of life changes. And it dawned on me then that, and it had been in my head for a while, but it wasn't until then that it actually hit me. I could die so easily. It legitimately, I may not be here tomorrow morning. I may not be here next week. You do not know. And my friend hit me up, and, was like, are you this? And then she explained it to me a bit, because I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. And then when she explained it, it's like, that's it, right there, that's it. So, some people require therapy to figure it out. For me, it required a little bit of a nudge. Just a little itty bitty. And then that was all I needed. So there's this whole, and I get it from my friends, like, how do you feel with it, and they think it's a very complicated feeling. For me personally, it's very, very simple. Very simple. You just, like, for me, I feel like a guy. 99% of the time, I feel like a guy. I walk around, I get called sir, and it isn't until I go to use the bathroom or I change shirts that I remember that I'm anatomically a girl. And I think that's the same for everybody. Like, they feel like the gender they identify all the time. Those extra parts, at least for me, I kind of forget that they're there. Even while having to adjust, I forget that, my stuff's there. Kind of hard to, miss down below. But, yeah. I think that's the simplest answer. Like, how did you know? Well, I feel this way, but I don't look it. Like, that's it. And then you gotta transition, and the goal is to make yourself physically match you internally. It's like the mindset seems extremely complicated, but it's not. But that's because I'm on the simple, if you want to call it. For me, I'm a female transforming into a male, but you have a lot of different gender identities, or people who don't identify as either man or woman, or I've heard people identify as animals. you feel like an animal, there you go. I'm not sure about the mindset or the course of action needed, but you feel how you feel, right? I have never had the chance to talk to somebody about that, but if I get the chance, I definitely will. But that is the thing. That is the thing, believe it or not. And no negative comments, please, no. Because that person could be watching. I think that does it. It's very simple. It's a very simple explanation. But it seems way more complicated. And it just depends person to person. Like I was talking about, I have one girl. She's awesome. She felt very... She didn't feel like herself. She couldn't figure out why, so she moved out and lived on her own. No girlfriend, no boyfriend. I think she's into girls now. Not positive, and I know she's got a girlfriend right now, so I'm not sure if she's bisexual or a lesbian. But it wasn't until she moved out, got herself some one-on-one time, some thinking time, that she actually figured herself out and why her life hasn't felt right at all. So you've got people who are born knowing. You've got people like me who figure it out early-ish, like it dawns on them gradually, and then you have other people who require therapy to figure it out and figure out exactly what they want to do. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to know exactly what goes on in our heads, at least that's what goes on in mine. And maybe it'll help a few people, so